Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out of here well before the top of the hour. We'll give you guys enough time to get your bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, is deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show for today. All right, we got Mitch. It's Wednesdays. It's Mitch, Big Al McMordie, Ninos, Chris Ruffolo, and Sean Murphy. Here's how the lineup for today. Ninos, McMordie, Murphy, Ruffolo, Mitch, and then I will close this one out. All right, Chris, do you have any action this morning? I was tempted on going over on that Fairfield game. I could not believe that game went over the total. It was trending under. It just that last 30 seconds of crazy three-pointers and free throws.
Tony, welcome to late February, early March basketball. That's all I can say if anybody else was on that game, because it's chaos, especially for the MAC, which has been known as the lower scoring conference. But now all my action later tonight.
Yep. All right. Very good. Let's go. Let's get the show started. We're going to go ahead go on to Skype. We're going to welcome Ninos to the Drive-Thru. You find him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Also contributes to some of the shows here on the weekend and during and the Puck and Crazy show. Let's bring him in right now. Al, what's going on?
Going good. How are you?
Doing well. All right. Here we go. 8 Eastern Time. The Bulls here to host the Kings. The Chicago Bulls here laying 6, total 232.
Yeah, the Kings here coming into Chicago after getting blown out real bad in Brooklyn. They didn't look good at all in that one, but looked much better before that with their new pieces. The Bulls have been rolling, but it took a huge 40-point game from DeMar DeRozan and a big 37-point fourth quarter from Chicago to get the job done against the Spurs. It's not exactly the best team in the league right now. And I don't know, I think the Kings come into this one and keep it competitive. Some key injuries for the Bulls here, of course. No Lonzo Ball, he's been out for a while. Zach LaVine's missed the last couple of games. They managed to get the job done without him, but again, I just think the Kings, I just like this new lineup for them, and I think they come out to play tonight, especially after getting blown out in their last one. So Bulls probably still the better team here, with even without these two big injuries. I mean, even with these two big injuries, but I just think the Kings keep it close. So I'm taking the points here.
All right, now Ninos will be taking the points here with Sacramento, going up against a Bulls team that has won 4 straight, averaging 118 points per 100 possession. And of course, motivated DeMar DeRozan because Al, there's talk, there's whispers about MVP, and DeRozan gets those. Here's that, and of course goes off.
Oh well, I think he's got a lot of work to do to get up that another discussion. But I mean, if LaVine misses a significant amount of time, maybe he might. But again, it'll take probably a few more 40-point games. And I don't know. I think actually that the Kings do have some pieces that could slow him down a bit. So I do think they match up well with him defensively. So I don't think he gets close to 40 tonight.
All right, we got Ninos on Sacramento +6 against Chicago Bulls. This one will have a start time of 8 Eastern Time. Watch it over on NBA League Pass channel. All right, Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium, where you're doing fantastic work here. Look at these numbers: 2,315 units of profit in the NHL. That's all documented. Also showing profit 899 units in the NBA, showing profit for 2022. It's all documented. So go visit Ninos' profile page over at Pick Dogs Premium. Scroll down to where it says Pick History. You'll find every play. It's recorded immediately, coming off a really good day yesterday. Al, what do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, had a few more plays yesterday, but pretty quiet one today. Just 3 plays. Best bet in each sport. You can get it all in the 3-pack. Grab whichever sport you're into individually. Or better yet, grab a long-term pass. It's always your best value, or pair me up with your other favorite capper.
That's right, guys. I get on board here with Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the numbers here: 2,315 units of profit. And we've talked about the numbers here in the NBA as well, showing profit the last 30 days of over 1,500 units. And Al's having action tonight from the NBA, college basketball, as well as NHL. His popular 3-pack is at NBA NHL Best Bet. He calls it his Alpha Bets. You get his best bet from each of the leagues tonight. That's $40. Or if you prefer, you can go long-term with Al. He's got a 7. He has a 3, 7, and 3rd-day all-sports pass where you get every play that Al releases over at Pick Dogs Premium for that time period you select when you go to the profile page and you make that purchase. All right, Al, as always, great having your show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow. But I know you also contribute to the Puck and Crazy show.
Yeah, that's right. I was on there today and should be on there again tomorrow, but check it out every weekday at 3:30 Eastern.
3:30 Eastern Time. You can see Ninos, and he's doing fantastic work in the NHL. 2,315 units of profit. Tony Brown also a guest on that show, and both of you guys are knocking it out in the NHL. All right, have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right, have a good one, guys.
All right, Ninos here on the Drive Thru. We're joined here by Chris, guys, as we continue here with the show. Just a reminder, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every single day. Of course, it all gets started at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You got Mitch. 7 picks in 5 minutes, and then immediately following is the show with Mitch and Joe Madden. Of course, we also have shows in between, like the Puck and Crazy show with Joe Madden. We have a soccer show, and then we're here Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We always ask our audience to help us out. Chris, those likes, those thumbs up really help us out.
Absolutely, Tony, they do, because it helps us, get new stuff out, get out new content, lets us know that you guys like what we're doing. Also helps us get us out to new and fresh faces, and without your guys' love and support, Pick Dogs wouldn't be anywhere near where it is today. So thank you guys for love and support. And today we'll do a different like goal, but you guys have been able to reach these like goals with some oomph as of late. So let's do 175 likes. We'll get you 3 plays for tonight's action. 1 from NBA, 1 from college hoops, as well as an NHL premium play that you can only get if you're in a long-term subscription. So 175 likes will get you there.
175. Let's keep those likes coming in. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Big Al McMordie. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs. Big Al, how you doing?
Doing great. How are you guys on this Wednesday?
Feeling great. Here we go. NBA as we approach the All-Star break, 8 Eastern Time. Timberwolves to host the Raptors. Toronto laying 2 on the road, total 227.5.
Yeah, this number opened up with Toronto as a dog. It's now spiked to Toronto 2-point favorite. I like Toronto minus the 2 here for a couple of reasons. The first is that the Raptors come into this ball game off a 30-point loss to the Pelicans. Before that, they lost by 1 point to the Nuggets. And Toronto is really good off back-to-back losses, 109 and 71 ATS, the last 180. They're also terrific off blowout losses, as they were 22 and 12 ATS off a loss by 12 points or more. Then you take a look at the Timberwolves side of the coin. Minnesota had to play last night versus Charlotte while Toronto was rested. And Minnesota did win that game. They also scored 126 points, so it was up and down affair. And when you take a look at how unrested teams do off a win in which they scored more than 121 points, they don't do very well versus really good teams that are off a loss. If their opponent has a win percentage of 545 or better, and their opponent is off a loss, our unrested team off that high-scoring win is 37 and 67 ATS. It all adds up to a Toronto blowout tonight. I'm going to lay the points with the Raptors.
All right, we got Big Al here. Going to lay the points here, laying the 2 here with the Raptors. All right, Chris, those under players last night, my condolences. It wasn't hard. You had it handicapped perfectly. That was a rough way to go. But we're looking here, Chris, at Van Fleet. He did miss the shoot-around today.
Yeah, see, Lil Al needs to take some notes on how to get on my good side. Back in the Raptors is a way to do it. No, I'm kidding. But you look at the Timberwolves. So, I mean, the other big problem for the Wolves here is no Anthony Edwards, it looks like, because he did hurt his ankle in that loss last night. Only played 17 minutes. And if he can't go tonight, that takes a massive scoring option away from the Timberwolves. And, yes, Fred VanVleet missed the shoot-around, but this is a deep Toronto team that I've been watching it more and more. You're starting to see a lot of cohesion. And they're playing very well right now, especially on the defensive end of the floor. I like Toronto as well.
Yeah, we're starting to see points come up, and of course more cohesion because we're getting through some of this COVID absences here in February. So Big Al here is going to go ahead and take in this game. He'll be looking at the Toronto Raptors laying the 2. This one start time 8 Eastern Time. You can watch it over on NBA League Pass channel. All right, now let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium, where you're doing fine work this year, as well as in the college hoops. We have a nice board here from the NBA. 11 games from the NBA, some college hoops as well. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, Tony, I have a lot going on tonight. I've got one play, the NHL. I'm 11 and 3, my last 14 on the ice. I'm also 48 and 32, my last 80 in basketball. We have 4 games in college, 4 games also in the NBA. And among those 8 basketball plays, we've got 2 triple packs, 1 triple pack in pro, 1 triple pack in college. So it's a smorgasbord of winners on this Wednesday. It's a great card, and folks can get on board for a week or a month and also team me up with one of the other champion handicappers here at Pick Dogs for the 2-for-1 handicapper special. So don't miss any of the plays tonight.
You don't miss any of the plays, guys. Get on board with Big Al McMordie, showing profit here in college hoops, showing profit for the year as well as the past 7 days. He's got an NBA triple pack going. the NHL plays as well, hoops. But your best value, as Al was talking about, is getting one of those long-term passes. You know that 30-day all sports pass will get you all of Big Al's plays for 30 days, all his NBA, all his NHL, his college hoops. And as we talked about, the conference tournaments, they're just 12 days away from the beginning of them.
Oh, no.
The Northeast starts a week from Monday with the play-in game.
The NEC?
Yeah, yes. There's a one-game play-in. So I'm looking forward to those two last-place teams playing to get into the tournament. But anyway, get on board with Big McMordie. Get that 30-day all sports passes. We are 12 days away from the start of the conference tournaments. All right, Al, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Okay, I'll be back on Thursday. Good luck, Chris. Good luck, Tony.
Good luck to you as well. Big Al McMordie here on the drive to. All right, Chris, it's inching up here, man. February flies by.
Dude, I can't tell you. I never thought I'd say this. I'm excited to cap games like Sacred Heart and Merrimack over the next few weeks because I'll tell you, man, every single game is a chance for us to make money. And Tony, like I always say, we're running out of time to make money on these teams, but I'll take it every chance I can get.
We certainly will. All right, Chris, why don't you give us an update here on Lyco? We got a really a good goal today. We
do. It's 175 likes. I know it's a bit of a lofty goal early on right now, but still lots of time to get there. We got 39 likes. If we can get to 175, you guys will get 3 plays from me tonight. We hit our 2-game parlay last night. Looking to try to do it again today, but this time with 3 plays, 1 from the NBA, 1 from college hoops, as well as an NHL play that is in my premium section only for long-term subscribers. But 175 likes will get action tonight.
Let's get those likes in. Get those likes in. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru with Sean Murphy here on the drive-thru. Sean, how you doing?
Well, I was doing well until you reminded me of that T-Wolves under last night. I was on that play actually, so it was a little sour.
That was a sour one as well, no doubt. All right, here we go. 7:30 Eastern time. I think we had that one as a triple consensus on that one that came up last today on the show. Well, anyway, 7:30 Eastern time. Hurricanes here to host the Panthers. Hurricanes $1.15, total 6.5.
Yeah, so we've kind of seen this line it's been flip-flopping kind of all day. The Hurricanes opened as the favorite. Panthers took some money here, so we've seen it kind of cross over a couple of times. I think the Hurricanes are back to being favored here. I like Carolina in this spot. Florida's in kind of a bad situation here. They haven't played in 15 days, so more than 2 weeks since they last took the ice. So you kind of, you normally want to ease back into things, but they have to go up against one of the best teams in the league. And not only that, but Carolina's coming off 3 losses in their last 4 games. Tough 3-2 loss in Minnesota last time out on Saturday. So we know the Hurricanes are going to be focused here in this spot. This is also a bit of a revenge spot here for the Canes here at home. And in this spot, they've actually allowed just 1.9 goals per game, and they've outscored opponents by just shy of a goal per game when playing at home, seeking revenge for a home loss against an opponent over the last 2 seasons. That's the case here as the Panthers posted a 4-3 win in Carolina back on January 8th. Florida, they're one of the best teams in the league as well, right up there with Carolina, but they're a completely different team on the road. So far this season, they're just 9-12 away from home. They can't keep the puck out of their own net. They're allowing 4 goals per game. So it's if we're going to look to fade Florida, it's going to be on the road. I just think this is a big spot for the Hurricanes to kind of get back on track. We've seen other teams come out of this extended kind of strange break due to the odd scheduling with, the NHL was supposed to be over at the Olympics. So we've had them kind of squeeze in a bunch of games. We've had some teams have the long layoff. Teams like, for example, last night the Kings ended up losing 5-2 to the Oilers. They were off a long break. Sharks were in the same spot 2 nights ago against the Oilers. So similar spot here for the Panthers. I think it's just tough for them to kind of get right back up against the Hurricanes here. So we'll back Carolina at home tonight. Short price.
Carolina's the play here from Sean. Chris, your thoughts on this one?
Don't worry, Sean. Tony likes to twist the knife about plays all the time, so don't worry about that under from yesterday. But I think we do have another consensus today, though, because I do like the Hurricanes as well. Like Sean said, Florida's played by far their worst hockey on the road this season. I also got to remember this is Carolina's first game since the All-Star break at home. So I think Carolina going to get a big lift at home from the home crowd tonight. And while some teams have bounced back from those long COVID layoffs and come out firing, I think this is just one of those spots where you catch a really good Carolina team against a Florida team that's going to show a bit of rust, and that's going to be over early. So I like Carolina as well.
Agreement here. Carolina Hurricanes laying 115 against Florida. This one will have a start time at 7:30 Eastern time, NHL Center Ice package. All right, Sean, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium tonight. We got some hockey on the board as well as lots of hoops, lots of NBA and college. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, so I've got 4 plays on the go tonight. 2 10-star plays in basketball, one in the NBA, one in college. So college hoops has kind of been turning around slowly the last couple of weeks. Here we'll be going for our fourth straight college basketball totals winner here tonight. That's my Big 12 total of the month, so that's kind of the premier play on the board tonight. Hockey's been rolling. They're back on the profitable side on the season there, so we've got one NHL play on the go as well. And as I mentioned, the 10-star NBA play. So good night to get on board. Lots of plays on the go.
That's right, guys. Again, I'm with Sean Murphy over at Pick Dogs Premium. Lots of plays on the board tonight from the NBA, NHL, as well as college hoops. But again, your best value here is going with a long-term pass from Sean. He has a 3, 7, and $30 sports pass. We get every play from Sean Murphy over at Pick Dogs Premium. All his premium plays for that period of time you select when you go to the profile page and you make that purchase. You can add a second capper to that. 2-for-1 Handicappers promotion, even greater value there. All right, Sean, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll talk with you next week, but I also know you do contribute to the weekend shows.
Yeah, lots on the go on the weekends now. Football's over, but plenty of college hoops. This weekend's the obviously the NBA All-Star break, but we'll have plenty of college hoops and maybe some hockey to talk about.
Yeah, plenty on the board on Saturday with college. All right, Sean, have yourself a great evening. We'll talk next week.
All right, thanks, guys. No bad beats tonight.
No more. You got it. Sean Murphy here on the drive-through. All right, Chris, just rocking chart winners tonight. It's the All-Star break, right? Some of these, we get a few of the lay-down winners, right?
Yeah, let's hope. I mean, me and rocking chairs don't get along too well, so let's pretty much just get them in tonight. But I have a feeling we'll have a pretty good night beating the books.
We certainly will. All right, Chris, I know we got a lofty goal tonight, right?
Yeah, we do, Tony. But if anything, if I know this group, the group that shows us all the love in the world, I know we can get there. 175 likes, got 159 people watching. So we're almost at that point where if everybody just hit the thumbs up, we'd have enough likes to get us our like goal. We only need about another 108. So, guys, get those likes in. Sooner you get them in, the sooner we can work on getting you the plays. Less work to do later on, but get them in.
That's right, guys. Keep those likes coming in. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. It's time for Chris. Chris, front and center with his play. He'll be looking tonight here at the NBA. And, boy, we're looking at a living versus the dead in this one here. So let's go ahead and bring up this play tonight as Chris will play a mortician tonight. Let's go ahead and bring in the game here as Suns will host the Rockets here. The Suns laying 16.5, total 234.5.
Yeah, Tony knows I like my old school wrestling, so maybe call me The Undertaker or even Paul Bearer. But I'm looking at this one, and simply put, like Tony said, this I think is going to be a blowout from start to finish. The Suns, we're at a point where they're back to being on a roll, winning 20 of their last 22. They've gone 14-8 against the spread in that span, and since the turn of the calendar, they're second best in the NBA with a plus 1.8 point net rating. And the thing is with this Phoenix Suns team, during that 22-game run, they both the top 3 offense, top 3 defense since the beginning of January, and they've won by double digits in 12 of 22 games, including 24-point victories or more in 2 of their last 3 games. The Rockets, completely on the other end of the spectrum. The NBA's worst net rating since January 1st at minus 12.1 points per 100. 7-22 against the spread in the last 29 games, including 9 losses by 13 or more points in their last 10 games. And teams that are favored by at least 15 or more this season have been 6-2 against the spread. I think that run continues behind a beatdown from the Suns. I'm looking for Phoenix to win this one by 20, maybe even 25 or 30 points. But either way, I like the Suns tonight.
All right, so Chris says go ahead and take the Suns, lay the points here against the Houston Rockets. On paper, it should plays that way. It does play as a huge blowout. And of course, this is the concern here for Houston. Injuries. You're looking at actually questionable status here for Wood, Schroeder, and Porter. And let me give you the update here on Wood because he's a scorer here. Still just questionable. He's got an illness. So without those 3 players, it's going to be tough. It's really tough sledding here for the Rockets.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was tough to begin with, but I mean, we've seen how bad it's been for the Rockets when it was just Christian Wood out of the lineup earlier this season, and even when it was both Wood and Kevin Porter. So, to me, you see the Phoenix Suns, and they're starting to really, really get healthy again. They're getting all their guys back on the floor. And like I said, even when they were missing guys like DeAndre Ayton and the like, they were still beating up on teams, and I think this is going to be no different. The only concern I have is, and I know Tony doesn't like this term, but the potential look-ahead spot that maybe the Suns don't take the Rockets seriously, but I think they're taking everyone seriously, and they're taking names as well, so I like the Suns here.
Well, interesting. Now is about the time to do some standing watching here. Is the Suns hold a six-game lead in the loss column over the Golden State Warriors. That's for the top seed in the West. And they played 57 games. If my math is correct, there's 25 games remaining. So we're almost two-thirds of the way, over two-thirds of the way of this into the season here. And a team like the Phoenix Suns, you can really increase. You play hard here. You're looking at a pretty good layoff toward the end of the season, right before the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. And then I completely agree with you there. And especially with the issues that the Suns have had with injuries, over the course of the season. I mean, like I just said, DeAndre Ayton, we've seen Jay Crowder pop up on the injury list a fair bit this season. And I think this Suns team got a taste of the finals. They want to get back there. And to get back there, they need to be as healthy as possible. So, yeah, I'm with you, Tony. I think this is where you got to see the Suns start really pouring it on to really be able to take advantage of it later on down the road.
Yeah, they want to get that rest, and we've seen it many times with Chris Paul. Those lower body. Well, I'm going to use the hockey term. Those lower body injuries. He seems to have them all the time.
Yeah, every time I see LBI on the injury report, I kind of get like a little shiver down my spine because I hate seeing that. But you're right, Tony. I mean, I believe it's been mostly a hip issue with Chris Paul over the last couple of seasons, maybe even a bit of a knee issue. But he's, how do I say this? Well, be nice. He's getting up there in age, and I mean that's just the reality of the situation. And when the bones start creaking, you need to get yourself as much rest as possible. So yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, they got to take care of business here. All right, Chris on Suns laying 16.5 against the Rockets. This one will have a start time of 9 Eastern time. You can watch this one over on the NBA League Pass channel. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Pin for tonight. Coming off a really good day yesterday. Lots of hoops action tonight, some hockey as well. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, Tony had a great day yesterday and today for Wednesday. Scrapped Whale Bet Wednesday this week. This week it's my Wednesday top tips, my 3-pack. Got 2 college hoops plays as well as an NBA play that I think we can absolutely sweep the board with tonight with those 3. Guys, hop on long term. This is the time to do it, not just because you're getting tons of action, but with me you're getting also bonus plays that I may not be able to fit into a package because I usually try to limit myself at 3 plays, and I want to be able to give you guys some winners though. So check those out. Starting with a 3-day, you'll get pretty much up until the weekend. 7-day will get you the loaded college hoops card on Saturday as well as some Sunday action. A month will get you into March Madness. Now it's officially here. And a year will get you up until this time next season. Full seasons of all the major sports. Or, like I said, I got my tournament takeout pack. If you're just looking to bet college hoops, tons of options. Long-term, whether you're looking to back with just me or someone else part of the 2 from Capper deal, you can get Tony, Big Al, Little Al, Mitch on the show tonight, Mills, James Clark, lots of guys tearing it up right now, lots of guys and girls tearing it up. So definitely check us out over at Pick Dogs Premium. I can promise you won't regret it.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Chris over at Pick Dogs Premium. Come up a really good day yesterday. I like some of the plays he had last night. UC Irvine coming through for him, as well as the Celtics with a blowout win. Wake Forest, that was a nice cover there in that one. Get on board with Chris. He's got some plays tonight. He's got a top tips 3-pack going on, some of his 3 best plays of the night. Or if you prefer, go with the long-term pass. We've talked about this before. Ruffolo's College Hoops Tournament Takeout Special. There you go. Every play from Chris now to the final game of the NCAA tournament, including all those minor tournaments as well as NIT, CIT, CBI, and of course all those conference tournaments that begin in 12 days. A week from Monday is when the Northeast plays their play-in game. Well, there's one game on the Monday, and then it gets crazy from there. So get on board there with Chris over at Pick Dogs. Get on board with those long-term passes. Let's continue on here with the drive-through, joined by Chris. Chris, where do we sit with our like goal?
Well, Tony, we made quite a bit of progress. We're at 105 likes right now. We still need 70 more to get to that like goal. As I can't stress enough, this is one of the better like goals that we've had in a little while. We got an NBA play for tonight, as well as a college hoops play and an NHL play that you can only find in my premium section for long-term subscribers. So, guys, get those likes in. Sooner you get them in, sooner we can get you the winning plays for tonight's action.
Let's keep them coming in. Let's continue on with the drive-through. It's time for Mitch. It's Wednesday. It's Mitch here on the drive-through. Mitch, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Tony. How you doing?
Fantastic. All right, here we go. College hoops, ACC action. Notre Dame to host BC. Notre Dame a 9-point favorite, total 130.5.
Yeah, most people know I'm not a big Notre Dame fan. I'm actually not a big Boston College fan either when it comes to this. But, I am a fan of February college basketball. And the reason why I'm a fan of February college basketball, it's kind of all my favorite things in life: revenge, payback, rivalries, hatred, all those kind of good things going on here. And this game kind of encompasses all those things. You know, the ACC played some of their schedule early in the year. We saw the Pac-12 do the same thing, the SEC. I think all the conferences did. They played like a mini season like back in November. I know it seems like years ago, right? But they did. They played like 3 games. One of those games was Boston College, Notre Dame, and Boston College just beat the crap out of Notre Dame. I mean, they really woodshedded them. These are the 2 Catholic schools that, you know, did not go to the Big East Conference, and these are the ones they wanted, you know, the most, and they got neither of them. But you know, the thing is that, you know, Notre Dame is looking at an NCAA tournament berth here as well. So they have a lot to play for at this point, and a loss to Boston College is not going to help them in that area. They certainly at 18-7, you know, have the resume to get in. I don't follow bracketology, but my guess is they're in, and them being Notre Dame only helps that. But I think Boston College is in a really lousy spot here. And while a lot of people might have forgotten that beatdown that the Eagles put on them, I don't think Notre Dame has. Look for Notre Dame to pour it on here. We're seeing a line that's gone down from 10.5 to 9. It should be going the other way from 9 to 18.
All right, Mitch here at Notre Dame laying 9 against BC. All right, Chris, Boston College has been a brutal road team this year. 1-9 overall, hitting just 36%.
That Wake Forest game. I don't know if you guys saw that Wake Forest game, but I mean, that was just not, I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on there. Anyways, go ahead, Chris.
I was going to say, I like Notre Dame here mainly because, well, first off, Notre Dame right now listed as a 9 seed in the West, in the Gonzaga region right now. So, you know, that Notre Dame does have a lot to play for, and a loss would definitely take them out of that conversation. But also Boston College, 4 straight losses on the road in conference, average of 16.5 points per game in those losses, and they're struggling to break 55 points in most of them as well. So if all things play true to form, I like Notre Dame here as well by double digits.
Yeah, agreement here. Notre Dame laying 9 here against Boston College. This one will have a start time top of the hour here at 7 Eastern time. All right, Mitch, I know it was real popular checking out the mornings here with your 7 picks in 5 minutes. Been doing well.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. They haven't been as hot recently as they have in the past. We've kind of expanded them out. You know, as we've expanded the betting tools, we've expanded out our 7 picks as well. And, you know, some days, you know, the 7 picks become 11 or 12 picks, and, you know, the 5 minutes becomes 6 minutes. And I think people expect that from me anyway. But you know, that's kind of where we're at with those. But you know, our streaks, which was the most popular thing at Pick Dogs in our betting tools, is now at sportschatplace.com. And because it doesn't have to all be underdogs. I mean, we have, you know, literally, you know, 50, 60 streaks a day. So be sure to check those out over at Sports Chat Place under the betting tools. Also, I just want to tell everybody we're celebrating. We thank you guys for all of your support. You can see behind me, I always keep the counter. 75,000 YouTube subscribers. We did that in about a fifth of the time that it took our next nearest competitor to reach that number. They're ahead of us in total subscribers, but it's just a matter of time before we mow them down. Everybody knows that. But it took them 5 years or 6. It took them 6 years or 7 years to get there. It took us a year and a half. And, you know, I'm just really excited about it. So I'm doing my weekly package for the next 2 days at $75 to celebrate the 75,000 subscribers. Of course, our goal is 10 million. We got a lot of wood to chop. We know that, you know, we know that the big work is ahead of us, but we're happy about the progress so far. And, you know, you got to get to 75,000 before you get to 10 million. It's just a step along the way. We know, you know, before football season, we'll be talking about the 100K, showing off our plaque.
That's right. 100K is not too far away. Of course, Mitchell, we're not too far away from March Madness. And how's your feel here heading into the final few weeks of the regular season, college hoops, and getting ready for a nice tournament?
I was on top of the leaderboard in college hoops most of the season, and then the last 2 weeks ago, I went into that thing where it's like, and you know, I'm a gambler, you know, more than I am a handicapper, and I started hitting some rough spots. So I do what I do, and you know, I'm not here to give out sports betting advice. I'm not saying, oh, you know, only bet 1% of your thing in your spreadsheet and this units and X% of the bankroll. I say, you know, things start going tough. just start chasing the hell out of this crap. And, it's like, that's exactly what I did. And I got behind the 8 ball and it kind of steamrolled on me. But, the last few days I burnt some sage. I went out to the garden. I picked about, a garbage bag full of sage and nearly burnt the neighborhood down. And, they called the fire department and it happened. But, it's like since then things have turned around. Haven't won every game, that's for sure. But I think I've been on the right side of it. It's like I haven't made a pick where it's just like, that was just terrible. I think there's been some games, and we've seen them. The Wilmington versus William Townsend versus Elon, and the Wilmington versus North. It's like, if you're going to get me on those, you're going to get me. I'm not going to fall for the sharp line movement or any of those things because we don't even know what's true anymore. But I will say that historically, I normally rip it open in March Madness, and I've done it time and time again, including last year. So I'm ready for this is my time, So, like I said, $75 for my 7-day package for the next 2 days. Once Friday at midnight comes, that deal is over and it will not be back. It is 50% off what I normally charge. So it's normally $150. It's $75. It's less than what I charge for a 3-day.
Yeah, really, really good, very good value there. Mitch, we're getting into the final few weeks of the regular season.
Ruffolo's like, I want to do a $75 weekly. I saw that face. I saw it. Go ahead, Chris. You can do it too. If you want.
Okay.
I think
but only until Friday midnight. Only until Friday midnight.
Okay.
I'm not going $75 a week.
Are we in dog time right now in college hoops? 2 weeks away from the conference tournament. Some of these front running teams may take the foot off the gas a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of inflated lines here as we get closer to the conference tournaments.
We're seeing inflated lines, but at the same time, we're seeing dogs where there is no tomorrow, where the college career is coming to an end, and we're seeing dogs with legitimate shots. I lost one last night like that. I'll lose plenty more. Missouri State, up against Indiana State. It was a revenge matchup, a little bit like this Notre Dame Boston College, but the number was bigger than this. And I laid 13, and they were there. But they got hit with a couple threes late. If you start if you're laying a ton of points, you got to make sure it's going to be a beatdown. I mean, how many times has Ohio roasted me? I know Chris caught a win with Ohio yesterday, but I'll tell you what, they've roasted me like 5 times recently. I could tell you guys number 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 on their bench because those are the guys have been playing when I need the cover. And it's like there's nothing you can do about it.
No, not much. And get Providence, I can't get too upset because they've been good to me this year. Have they been good to you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Ed Cooley's my guy, and we're just gonna stick with him. I'm gonna leave him in my Final Four for now, with a few of my other favorites. But Providence is my dark horse to go to the Final Four. The last time they had this kind of record, they went to the Final Four. So see if they can do it again. But I have them in.
I know people like to talk a lot about this. Of course, it's game by game. But what conference, Mitch, as we get close to the NCAA tournament, what conference do you think will be one of the top performers, and which one will be one near the bottom?
I think the SEC is going to be near the very, very top, and I think the ACC is going to be near the bottom. I think the ACC has been terrible this season, and I think we're going to see it. I think the Big 12 will, the cream will rise to the top, but I think those mid-level Big 12s will not be doing much either. But I think, I think the guys that are playing tonight, Texas Tech and Baylor, both have Final Four teams, that can make it. I think, just like I believe that, Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, LSU, all those teams. I know LSU has not played as well recently, but they're stacked. Don't even think that they're not. And we know that, some of those other teams, you let them in the door, it's like they can ruin the party for anyone. But we know in the Big 12, Texas is going to take an early exit more than likely, and overrated. And a couple of the other teams.
Which mid-major conferences will produce some of the Cinderella teams?
Oh, Steven, the WAC for sure. I mean, you guys know we've been following the WAC. This is the best WAC there's ever been. I think the WAC, and I also think the Mountain West, because I think 3 of the best defensive teams are in the Mountain West. 3 of the best defensive teams in all. I think if you look at the top 5 defense teams, 3 of them are in the Mountain West, right? So it's like Colorado State, Fresno State, Boise, all of those. And, I think Wyoming, if they can get in, they're going to ruin somebody's day. We got to remember the last year, the play-in game was Michigan State, UCLA was the play-in game. It went to overtime. It was a lousy year for Michigan State. It was like one of the worst years they've had. They play in the play-in game. They lose by 6 in overtime to UCLA, who goes to the Final Four and nearly goes all the way. So I mean, that's March Madness, and this year should be the best March Madness we ever had. Yeah,
because it does look a lot wide open. And Chris, any mid majors you have your eyes on, and Cinderella possibilities of conference? I like to say conferences because I think there's some teams in there that push each other.
Mitch took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say Mountain West. As soon as you asked the first question, I was going to say the Mountain West because, Wyoming, interestingly enough, Mitch may have an interest in this. It's 7-10 bracketology matchup with Miami in the first round right now. So this will be interesting. But
the bracketology that he gets the teams in, I don't know what I don't know what he is as far as matchups go. But I know as far as getting teams in, he's like 60 out of 68 every year, minimum. But I know that on the other side of it, I don't know where he is with seeds and matchups, either.
Anything
I'm not too worried
from
about
the Colonial, Conference USA, AAC?
I think the Colonial is tough, as well, and it's going to be a one bidder though, and the AAC, I don't know because like Cincinnati looked so bad against Memphis the other night, they could not get to the lead on Tuesday, so they play Wichita tomorrow. We'll have to see exactly how they bounce out of that, but Memphis looks to be getting it together, and so we know they have talent. The talent on Memphis is not a question. I mean, their guy off the bench, Earl Timberlake, was a guy that was at Miami last year, and he was like, one of the biggest recruits that Miami ever got. He was injured the whole season and then transferred, which was weird. It's like, to me, it's like the guys that transfer when they're injured the entire season. How do you even know? But he did. He transferred to Memphis, and he's off the bench now, and that's how good they are.
Yeah, any surprise? Do you see any surprise from the Missouri Valley Conference? Has been pretty quiet of late.
Yeah, not as strong as it's been, the Missouri Valley, but they're not going to roll over. I mean, there's going to be. We're starting to see over the past week. I don't know if you guys have noticed this too. More buzzer beaters, more half quarters, right? All of a sudden, those shots are starting to go and the guys, even the ones that miss. Like in the Memphis Cincinnati game, like right before the half, it just barely missed. It was like they fully think that this shot's going in. It's like they're shooting them, not just throwing up prayers at the buzzer anymore. They're actually, these shots they're either going in or they're super close.
Well, you could tell the intended need to win here. We talked about it to open here, just in this Fairfield. If you watch the Fairfield Manhattan game, the amount of fouling there was at the end of the last minute of that game. For the desperate team behind to get that one over. We're starting to see that now from teams where they're really trying their hardest to win, and you may see these games going over here because of these late second foul shooting.
I'll tell you, one of the things that I've been doing, since I started running not as hot, is I started going back and looking at the teams that play defense and hit free throws. And it's like those are the ones that are going to cover. It's like the ones that don't cover and the ones that put you in the bad place are the ones that miss those free throws down the stretch because they're going to get fouled. And it's like you miss the one, they hit the 3 on the other side. It's like all of a sudden, your 18-point cover is down the toilet. And it's like you got to have the guys that hit the free throws. I think on the Missouri Valley, I think Loyola and Drake, it's going to come down to one of those two. I don't think they both make it. I think Loyola has a shot at an at-large. I think Iona from the Metro Atlantic, obviously with Rick Pitino, nobody wants to see them on the other side of it. They're going to put them in a 5-12 game. We know that, right? It's like if they're going to make it, they'll be in a 5-12. They'll be the 12 up against, Florida or something, Who doesn't deserve to be a 5? It'll be someone like that.
And interesting to hear, Mitch, with we're getting past all these COVID, absences, and we're seeing a lot of scoring now in the NBA with these players playing together.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I took a break from the NBA because the protocol and the injuries and everything else, it was like you didn't know who was playing from game to game. And, we try and get the picks in for everybody at a reasonable hour. And it's like you put in a pick and all of a sudden it's like the line moves 6 points because this guy's not playing and that guy's not playing. And it's like almost like a tanking. So I've kind of, we're still continued. I've been doing the NBA videos. I've been following along. I've been handicapping the games, with I'm winning on my dogs there. I mean, if the dog wins, I win. There's been, at Sports Chat Place, we have one of the betting tools that we have is if you go to the betting tools and you look at angles, is what it's called. It's under a label called angles under Sports Chat Place, and so you click on angles and it will tell you what are the angles that are hitting, and then you can expand that and you can see if that angle is continuing to run hot or not. So generally it defaults to all, right? But it's like you want to go to like the last 30 days, is the time span, and then you want to go to the NBA because the NFL is included and that's over with. But you can see road favorites are hitting over the last 30 days 63.58%, 50, 28, and 3. That is if you're a sports bettor and you can hit 63.58% of your bets, you're going to have a very, very good run. West road teams versus East teams. And I'm just reading off the screen right here on sportschatplace.com under the betting tools. West road teams versus the East Conference, 59.84%. 36, 24, and 1. If you could just sit down and say, I don't have to do any work at all, I can bet the NBA and go 36, 24, and 1 against the number. Would you take it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're giving it away for free. Sports Chat Plays under the betting tools. I believe our betting tools are the best betting tools on the planet. And people say, oh, you brag about living in Hawaii in your car and your whatever. And it's like, I generally don't. And I think, the reason why I even mention those things is just to tell people it's freaking possible. Because trust me on this, Tony knew me when, he knew me when, it's like when I had hair and, I had hair and no money. And
in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. And so, and the thing is that these betting tools, though, I will gladly brag about them because these things are off the chain, and we're just getting started on them. We're right here, and we're going here. And I use this analogy all the time, but you can see we added the angles to Sports Chat Place this week. We have a bunch of other things that we're going to be adding on the parlay side. We have a parlay builder that we're adding, not just. Like the parlay right now, you could segregate by leagues and stuff, and like if you want against the spread or money line or whatever. But you're going to be able to really build out bigger parlays and things like that. Not that it's something that I do, but I know a lot of people like that stuff. But you can see like this angle. I'm looking at the West versus East. We don't just spit it out like it's some trend. In fact, here's the underlying information. Okay, don't take my word for it. Here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, it's not just an opinion. It's not just an opinion. It's something backed by actually stats. And
right. And the whole thing is that most of our betting tools also, it's not just in the format that we want to present it to you to make us look good or to make our record look good of our tools or whatever. It's you can configure these things to however you want to look at them. Like if you look at the standings, that has like 25, 30 different, I think there's like 10,000 ways you could actually look at it. But it looks at quarters, halves, third quarter, second quarter, halftime, every which way of these teams covering inside and out. And I will tell you, and Chris knows this, I've spent millions of dollars on this. Yeah. And it's like, this is not like what the other guys are charging you for with their app, tracking your bets or something like that. They're not tracking your bets, they're tracking you, okay? But that's besides the point. But this is free. And it's like, these are going to be even more robust. And it's like, we're giving away winners. 59.4%. Favorites have been 56.31% in the NBA. Favorites interconference over the past 30 days, 55%. Any of these trends, any of them, would put you on the right side of it. Any of them would. And then, but the thing is, if you find the ones that overlap some of these, oh man. It's like I wonder what the numbers are on those. We could find out.
Yeah,
really good. See.
right, check it out,
Because
guys.
he's looking at him now. He's like, man, maybe I kind of do like the Kings tonight.
There you go. There you go, guys. So check it out. Check out the betting tools, that little tab there at Sports Chat Place, also on Pick Dogs. All right, Mitch.
Yeah, they're different. The tools are different at each site. The Sports Chat Place are more robust. Definitely a lot more. I wouldn't call it work, but it's like there's a lot more options and a lot more things that you can look at, and they're just more robust. So it's going to take a little bit more on from you, but you can get a lot more out of it. At Pick Dogs, it's kind of a lot like what the other guys have, where it just says, okay, here's this. Take a look at it. You can configure it, some of it, but not. You can't go outside the lines. At Sports Chat, like I said, these are going to be gigantic. I mean, you guys are not even going to believe the player stuff that we're going to have, the matchup stuff, the props, everything. We're going to be the number one site for this stuff. The other guys are they're going to hate me. I would say they're going to hate me, but they're going to hate me more.
All right, that's funny. All right, Mitch, thanks for all that. Great having you on the show. We'll talk next week.
Good talking. Check out those betting tools, everyone. Also, $75 for my week. Next 2 days, that's it.
All right, there you go. Check it out. Get it on board with Mitch. All right, let's continue on the drive-through. We got to our goal, right? We got to it, and my free pick starts at 7:30 Eastern. Do you have stuff at the top of the hour?
I do. It's 7 o'clock.
All right, let's get to yours. Let's get to we hit our goal. Get to Chris's picks.
All right, this is going to be quick. This game is tipping off at 7. We're going to take the under between Furman and Western Carolina. Western Carolina's just fallen off a cliff, 9-2 to the under in their last 11 games, and 8 of those games have gone under the total in their last 9 as well. And this is, simply put, just I think a game where we see that those numbers continue. Furman, I think, could keep Western Carolina at bay here. It may be a bit of a sweat, but I do think we finish under 142.5. I think we're going to finish closer to 138 or 139. So under there. We're also going to take the Utah Jazz laying the points against the LA Lakers. The Jazz winners of 6 in a row. Lakers lost 4 of 5. And since Donovan Mitchell came back into the lineup, the Jazz just on fire right now, putting up 126 points per 100 possessions, first in the NBA over that span. The Jazz have just picked up the defense as well. The Warriors just beat up on the Lakers, and the Warriors are taking a dip defensively. If that's the case, I like the Lakers to keep that losing train going, and for the Jazz to keep their winning ways up. I like the Jazz laying the points there. For the hockey play, the one that's in my premium section, we're going to take the Flames on the puck line here. 9 wins in their last 10 games, beating teams with a plus 28 goal differential over that span. And Calgary, they've won 7 straight contests on home ice. They've covered the puck line in 6 of those 7 games, winning by an average of almost 4 goals per game in that 7-game stretch, beating Florida, Vegas, Toronto, St. Louis, some pretty tough customers against a mediocre Anaheim team that's, I think, punching above their weight. I look for that to continue as well tonight. So those are the 3 plays: the under in Furman, Western Carolina, the Utah Jazz laying the points, and the Calgary Flames minus the 1.5 on the puck line.
There you go. 3 plays here from Chris. That Gobert in the lineup now. Let's hope he doesn't get kicked out. His first game back. He won't get kicked out in this one. Like that one. Also, LeBron was downgraded to questionable in that game, by the way. If you didn't notice, that kind of fell under the radar there. But yeah, at last check, LeBron was questionable. And let's see if there's any change to that. It may not be because it's a later game. Still in the questionable status there for LeBron James. No Anthony, no Bradley, no none there. All right, let's go to my pick. Bottom of the hour, it begins. So we can kind of go at a good pace here. Wizards, Indiana Pacers here. They're going to start at 7:30 Eastern time. We're going Wizards, Pacers, over 226. If you hit Indiana Pacers, I just say over. Have you seen Buddy Hield and Halliburton in that lineup? My goodness. I know it's a back-to-back, but, Indiana Pacers, you don't have to worry about back-to-back because they don't play any defense. So you don't get as tired when you're the Pacers. When you look at their numbers here, 7 straight losses. They've gone over in 8 of 9. They're 29th in defensive efficiency in that period, give 121 points per 1 possessions, while they're scoring 112 per 100. That's actually going up here with Halliburton and Hill together in the lineup. Of course, I know Washington, they just finished a homestand winning 2 of 4. Their defense was kind of sour there in that homestand, giving up 116 per 100 possessions while scoring 110 per 100. But, Chris, the back-to-back doesn't scare me with Indiana. As I said, they don't really play much on one end of the court, and defense takes a lot of energy, and they're putting their energy into the offense. They're looking to outscore teams, so I'm going over here with Wizards and Pacers.
Yeah, Tony, I like it. The only thing that concerns me is the Wizards contributing to this total, because now we see no Rui Hachimura out with an ankle. Kristaps Porzingis still out with his knee injury, and that we all know what Bradley Beal's been out, and he's going to be out for at least a little while still. So I think the only trepidation I take with this game is just, will the Wizards be able to contribute to this, even as bad as the Pacers have been defensively in their last few games?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Wizards Pacers over 226. This one will have a start time here of 7:30 Eastern time. You can watch it over on NBA League Pass channel. Pacers favored by a point. All right, guys, I have a 3-pack right now going on over at Pick Dogs. Putting my 3 best bets on the board, so get on board. I'm also part of the 2-for-1 cap promotion, so you can match me up with Chris, with Mitch, with Big Al, Little Al. We've got also Sean Murphy, and you can also match me up with our man Big Al, McMordie, Al Ninos, and Tony Brown. 2-for-1 cap promotion, your best value over at Pick Dogs. Let's get to the recap, which is Chris and I tonight. Start with Al Ninos, Kings +6 against the Bulls. Al McMordie, Raptors -2 against the T-Wolves. Sean was on the Hurricanes -115 against the Panthers. Chris, Suns -16.5 against the Rockets. Mitch, Notre Dame laying 9 against Boston College. Yours truly, Wizards Pacers over 226. All right, Chris, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I'm not doing this just because he's the boss, but I got to go with Mitch, taking Notre Dame -9 against Boston College. Boston College has just looked absolutely limp on the road this season, especially in conference play. So I got to take the Irish here.
He's going to take the Fighting Irish there. All right. As far as the one I like the most, let's go with the Raptors laying 2 against the T-Wolves. T-Wolves come off a bad spot here, off a back-to-back here against a fresh Raptor squad. I know Chris likes that one. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow as we're live at 6 Eastern time. We'll have 8 cappers booked on the show, giving out live free sports picks for the games in prime time. Of course, it all gets started with the morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern time every single day. Of course, Mitch with his 7 picks in 5 minutes, followed up with Mitch and Joe Madden with their sports betting show, with giving out picks, talking about line moves. Tune in for that show at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Of course, we do have the Puck and Crazy show, and we have the soccer show leading up to us at 6 Eastern. All right, let's bring in the crew tonight. Wait, good night, everyone. Have yourself a great